So, hey guys, Chauzu here. Time for some more local sea monster. Hopefully the last time for some time. But I made a fairly accessible team versus level 5. I even made a new Shanks crew just to have a fresh one that isn't level limit broken. As rank captain, I'll be using the new Boa. In the team I use level 1, but the higher level you have, the easier it gets. So if you watch this half a year from now, it should be easier to find Boas at higher super talent levels. This is the team I like to run, but I can't run it since I haven't upgraded Mary. Any -1 the spear ship works, but yeah, if you don't have that, you can't run this exact variant. But this variant I show here is better overall, and it does use the 6+ Rayleigh, which in most cases is a buff, but it's not a pure buff for this content, as we'll get to. But yeah, he even does orb on it now, does higher attack boost, higher ore boost. He even gives extra damage to the final slasher unit hitting, so all in all, very good stuff. The one bad thing for this content though is the fact that Rayleigh is not a fighter anymore. And that means he can't use the Oprah support, which for a long time was vital to even beat this content, to have it on Rayleigh. But it does mean we have to play around the spear. One good thing though is that we can use this sword support now, so Rayleigh can actually get some color affinity when you use his special. So yeah, let's jump into it. I made 2 teams. First one is the more accessible one. In this variant I've put this Summer Robin with level 1 Morley support. It's not like this Robin is required, but if you want to remove the blindness, Robin is the only one that can help remove blindness and also has a support to remove the spear. But basically you can use any unit that can help you remove 1 turn of the spear, as long as you are fine with accepting the fact that you'll have to have a harder time hitting perfects on final stage. That's the caveat. After this team, I also made a double Rayleigh team, so look forward to that. I made some cool, fun strats for that one. But yeah, this is pretty straightforward. For Shanks crew, you want to swap them every single turn. On this stage, you want to stay 1 extra turn. It's very possible to kill this stage in 1 turn, but you want to stay here 1 more turn, so you can set up the super swap for final stage. I would say that one interesting thing with this team is the fact that both captains do different types of chain locks. Of course, Boas is a chain boundary and not chain lock, but chain boundary is inherently better than chain locks. And Boa does not just do a chain boundary, she also does increase chain growth rate. So it means that Boa's chain is just superior to Shanks crew, so that's what we will be going with on this team. We use the Viola here. An important note with Viola is that she needs to be limit break expanded if you want to have the ship bind to do more damage on the revive. You might be able to do enough damage without it, especially if you use the variant I showed where you use the Rebecca instead of the Robin. But yeah, just that for your information. So yeah, final stage here. And yeah, we're not even going to use Robin special on this team, it's not needed. If you had the Rebecca though, you'd use her here, preferably right away, to try and set up the call affinity for the next turn. Nami here, she's a normal rare recruit, she's very nice, sets defense to 0 and does a death down conditional. Also Sanji support, so we can get some chain, since with Boa special here we get chain boundary, we can stack various chain buffs. So feel free to check out the chain we get. Like with Shanks crew, we get a set 3.75 times chain, but as you will see with Boa, we can get even higher, and higher chain means higher damage. And of course, Shanks crew will give us 1 turn of color affinity without level limit break. If you happen to have a rainbow Shanks crew like Gratz, you got the color affinity for the revive too. But as you see with the chain, it gets a lot higher. I'm honestly unsure why the chain goes up that much. I should do some research with increased chain growth rate and decreased chain multiplier, because that doesn't make sense to me, but sure. So yeah, here if you don't have Marry ship or another their spear ship, you lack 1 turn of the spear, which I remove with level 1 mortal support. I say it again, level 1, level 5 doesn't work. Then you use Boa to remove the remaining turns of the spear. And finally we can use the Rayleigh, and he has a really cool special now, like everything about this Rayleigh is really cool. And I will be trying him out more eventually, but there's a lot of stuff happening. So we'll see when I get time to try him some more. I'll try and use him in PvP at least. And as you saw, Rayleigh and Shang's crew got buffs, since they are the only slashers, and the slasher hitting last gets an extra damage boost, which is why I tried to hit with Shang's crew last here, but as you see, yeah, we already killed. So yeah, that's the accessible team. A lot of people have been asking for that, so now I can cross that out of the list. But I wanted to use a double Rayleigh team, so I went with this. It's pretty straightforward. It's not like the most Galaxy Brain team. One thing I want to note is that with level limit break, Rayleigh as captain actually removes attack down, which is really cool. Like on the last team we used a Viola just for attack down. Obviously we could keep her ore boost for final stage 2, which is nice. But on this team, literally don't need anything for attack down. Another fun part with this team is the fact that Boa is completely filler. I don't need her for anything, so I just use her this stage, and I get some extra damage on stage 2 and 3, because why not? Like, the only option except for Boa will be like add some unit that can remove the death up with a support. But I knew with overkill like crazy, so I thought this was more fun to use Boa a bit. Because the fact that I'm using 2 Rayleigh means that I plan to use Rayleigh on the final stage twice. First turn 1, then turn 2. But that means I can't use as many specials as I want final stage. And that means we have to make sure we handle some stuff in advance. One of those is the Resilience final stage. Another one is the Decreased Chain final stage. But thankfully, those things are solved automatically by using Shang's crew and Anil on the team. Shang's crew, as captain, makes sure we get a 4-turn chain lock, which lasts until the end. And Anil, as sub, ensures we have end of turn damage until the end, because in solo form Shang's crew won't have that anymore. And we need both of these, like Anil, we also need for the spear removing support, and we need Shang's crew for the special bind resistance, so this was a very easy team to build. And like I knew from the start I'd need Miyok Perona for that Kuma support, since, well, Boa isn't captain now, we can't use her super to remove 6 turns of the spear, but we can use the Kuma. So basically the team built itself. I knew turn 1 final stage I want to use 1 Rayleigh and Miyok Perona. I decided to use the sub Rayleigh just to maximize damage for final stage, since when the Rayleigh captain uses his special, he gets an attack boost up to 5.75 times for himself, so I wanted him to do a bit more extra damage then. The cool thing with Rayleigh, of course, as well, is that he can guarantee a tandem orb, at least at max level limit break. I've honestly not looked a lot at lower level limit breaks, but that means we have an easy setup for super tandem with Boa, and as I've said, Boa amazing super tandem, even better when I use my own, since my Boa is rainbow, as you see. We've already killed local sea monster. And on the revive, we can only use 1 special. And we have the support to remove all of the despair. And yeah, we have no buffs left, you just have that buffed chain lock, since Boa has a sailor to increase the chain lock. But Rayleigh, buffed Rayleigh, gives so high buffs to attack and ore boost that it doesn't matter anymore. And we also of course have that very nice super tandem, which we can use again. We just need to proc it with a different Rayleigh this time. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this initial showcase of 6+ V3 Rayleigh. More to come eventually. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.